Hello and welcome to the MPP Insider. I'm Mike Mino. I'd like to first thank everybody who left us comments about our new format. As you can tell from the wall behind me, we've slowed down our graphics a little bit. Hope you guys like that better, and please keep the comments coming. On today's episode, we're going to discuss marijuana in the news. We're going to take a look at marijuana by the numbers, and we're also going to take the drug czar to school. But first up, let's look at marijuana in the news. In a somewhat surprising sign of progress in the world of marijuana policy reform this week, perhaps the harshest opponent of sensible marijuana laws in the United States Congress, Republican Representative Mark Souder of Indiana, announced his resignation amid revelations that he's had an affair with a part-time staffer. Among other egregious acts, Representative Souder authored the aid elimination penalty in the Higher Education Act, which for more than a decade has deprived more than 200,000 students of financial aid for college, all for having drug violations. Also in Washington, D.C. this week, Mexican President Felipe Calderon met with U.S. President Barack Obama. All throughout the media, there's been criticism of both U.S. and Mexican drug policy, and there was a lot of positive coverage this week about the need to renew the debate over U.S. drug policy in regards to Mexico. Finally, in Montana, there were some egregious acts of essentially terrorism, acts of violence committed against participants in Montana's booming medical marijuana program, including 2 medical marijuana clinics that were firebombed. Really scary stuff, and it's causing advocates and lawmakers in Montana to call for statewide regulation of that state's medical marijuana program. Next up, let's take a look at marijuana by the numbers. This week's number, 49. That was a crucial stat in 2 polls released this week. The first was in Colorado, where 49% of likely voters said they would support efforts to tax and regulate marijuana, with an additional 13% undecided. Also in California, which is preparing for a November ballot initiative to end marijuana prohibition in the state, 49% of respondents said they believe marijuana should be legal, while 48% believe it should not be. So that's a sign of how far we need to go to pass this ballot initiative in November. Next up, we're going to bring you a new segment that we like to call Schooling the Drug Czar. U.S. drug czar Gil Kurlikowski has stated on numerous occasions that his vocabulary does not include the word legalization. Well, this week we also found out that he might not be too clear on the definition of another important word, prohibition. In an online video interview with the Washington Post, Director Kurlikowski said the Obama administration is, quote, not exploring prohibition, which is somewhat mind-boggling, seeing as how Director Kurlikowski is the chief overseer of one of the longest-standing prohibitions in American history, that against marijuana. It's also telling that a strategy report just released by his office once again overstated the harms caused by marijuana while making no reference whatsoever to the colossal failure and damage incurred on this country by marijuana prohibition. That's going to do it for us here on the MPP Insider. Once again, I am Mike Mino. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.